Hey everyone, it's the one and only magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I finally have been able to get around to recording the AEW All In results. And before we get into the results, I have to say that All In deserves that a round of applause, as in my opinion, AEW All In, without a doubt, is the best wrestling show pay-per-view of 2025. All across wrestling, it's the best show so far. I thought Double or Nothing was pretty good. It was the best one, but no. All In definitely topped it for sure. Will All In be topped this year? I mean, that remains to be seen. I don't know. Wrestling, I know there's a lot of you, not a lot of you that are watching, but just a lot of people out there that's like, oh, AEW sucks. WWE is the only wrestling company that matters. Well, WWE this past weekend, because this will be uploaded on Monday, WWE had 3 shows to try to counter program All In, and All In was the best show of the fucking weekend. So I don't know what to tell those people. You know, listen, when I got into wrestling, which was long ago, it was because of WWE. That, I didn't just suddenly get into it all of the sudden during AEW's existence. I've been a wrestling fan longer than AEW has existed, but WWE the past 5-6 years or longer has not been doing it for me at all. I keep up with WWE, but that doesn't mean I watch their fucking product. No, not at all. Wow, let's see. Ooh, SummerSlam. Ooh, what type of tag team matchup we're gonna get? Oh, let me guess. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre? Yeah. See, like shit like that makes me stay away from WWE even more so. The WWE I grew up, sure, there were celebrity appearances, but it wasn't as nauseating as it is now. I'm sorry, I can't get into fucking WWE. I keep up with it, but I don't know. Like, poor fucking Drew McIntyre though. He goes from 5 years ago beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania to losing his second WWE championship to The Miz, now to potentially wrestling Jelly Roll. If I was Drew McIntyre, I would fucking quit. I would try my luck in AEW or just fucking retire. I mean, it's fucking... I feel bad for Drew McIntyre, but Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know. Anyway, enough about WWE. The point is, AEW All In, without a doubt, was the best show, not only of the year, but certainly the weekend. Like, woo, Oldberg got, 15 minutes? Like, really? Oh my goodness. But anyway, before we get into it, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. And like always, if you like the video, leave a like, leave a comment down below. And if you are not subscribed already, feel free to hit that subscribe button if you feel like it. If you want to, you can go ahead and do that. Turn on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. And, like I said, if you're new and if you want to share the video, if you are new, thank you for stopping on in. And if you want to share the video, that would be great too. If you do any of those things, that would be very much appreciated. Now, we're not going to bring up that travesty of a potential tag team match happening at SummerSlam when we have a much better tag team match to to go over with All In. Probably the second fucking best match of the night, in my opinion. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. As I'm just going to be going over the matches and kind of giving some thoughts on all of them and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. So, here we go. The build up to this pay per view has been on the best for AEW probably of this year, without a doubt. Every feud feels fleshed out, and every title match feels like it matters for more reasons than just the belts. Hangman Adam Page challenged Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship in a Texas death match that delivered. Absolutely delivered on Texas death match. Delivered on the extreme rules of it, right? Which was one of the most highly anticipated matches of the year. And the AEW Women's World Championship was also on the line when Timeless Tony Storm defended the belt against the belt collector herself, Mercedes Moné. Oh, we'll talk about it. Yeah, just like my thumbnail says. They did it. Yeah, they absolutely stuck the landing with the whole show. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the card. So, the first match on the pre-show was the 8-man tag team match that was booked during Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor on Friday with Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Ross, and Marshall Von Erich taking on uh taking on Cali Bravo, Sean Dean, Shane Taylor, and Lee Moriarty. This was a fine match with a few fun little moments, but whatever. I mean, we got much better matches happening later on anyway, so but it left a lot of room for the matches to follow to surpass it, which they easily did. The baby faces that would be Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Ross, and Marshall Von Erich, they ended up winning the match. So yeah, not a surprise. I mean, Dustin Rhodes is from Texas, so like, and that's going to be a notable thing. There might be certain people or certain themes that are following the Texas theme since they are in Texas. So, like, okay, we'll get into it. Like, Adam Page is not okay. Adam Page is not from Texas, but his theme is, the Hangman cowboy theme, right? Texas. So, anyway, okay. The the second match was between Lance Archer, Cedro. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but we're going to move on. Cedro, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero taking on Hologram, Ishii, Kyle O'Reilly, and Big Boom AJ. Some of this match was good, but a lot of it was done for comedic value. So you have to decide for yourself if you enjoy that or not. I mean, whatever. Like, I don't know. It was whatever. It was a part of the fucking pre-show. So, yeah. So Big Boom AJ was visibly upset during one part of the match when Trent Beretta pushed his son Big Justice, and that anger helped him and his team get the win because toward the end of the match, Big Justice came in there and gave Trent Beretta a hell of a fucking spear, by the way. And that was like pretty much near the end of the match. And the referee was like distracted or down or whatever, so. And to nobody's surprise, the Costco guy, he ends up winning. Like, sure, whatever. Like, at least he's not involved in a major storyline, so it's like he's there for an attraction. So it's like whatever. Now, next up on the pre-show was a rematch between the Outrunners and FTR. It was surprising this one wasn't on the main card. I found that really weird that the Outrunners and especially FTR, they didn't find a spot for them on the on the main show. Like, I don't know. Like, that was kind of like whatever. That was kind of like surprising to me. So, this has been a solid feud between the Outrunners and FTR. Their previous match was more physical and fast paced. Yeah, their match on Collision was much better in my opinion, but this one was methodical and allowed FTR to shine more as heels, as Stokely halfway helped them get a dirty win. So yeah, some notable moments. Beretta shoving Big Justice is one of those moments that will be clipped and shared a lot on social media. Props to that kid for taking the bump. Turbo Floyd, yeah, there was one point where Turbo Floyd, he had gotten his leg hurt. So yeah, Turbo Floyd did a decent job at selling his leg injury. There was a kid who could be heard screaming louder than anyone else during the FTR match. Yeah, I heard somebody screaming. I don't know what the hell that was about. Okay, so now we're getting on to the main show, by the way. We're done with the pre-show. Okay. The first match is for the AEW World Trios Championships. The defending champions are the Ops. Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Shibata are defending against Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, and Gabe Kidd. This was one of those matches that was added at the last minute. It wasn't a part of my predictions, by the way. And I thought, for whatever reason, I thought the Death Riders of Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, and Gabe Kidd were going to win it. And after the match, I don't know how they are going to make this part make sense when we get to the end of the match. Like after the match. Okay. So the Ops put their trios titles on the line against the Death Riders. The former teacher and student started when Gabe Kidd and Shibata began. Whoops. That was a that was a thumbnail for something else. Okay, for GTA 5. But anyway, okay, we're back at it. All right. So the former teacher and student started when Kidd and Shibata began trading strikes. Both men got in some good hits, but the wrestler came out on top before both men tagged out to Joe and Yuta. The early minutes of this match were paced slowly. They took their time and made sure each hit counted. Yuta was especially good at selling for Joe during this time. The longer the match went, the more physical and hard-hitting it became. All six men did some good work, but Hobbs had a few standout moments people will be talking about. Gabe Kidd fits perfectly with the Death Riders, but Pac was still missed here. Pac's high-flying antics would have added an extra layer of fun to this encounter. Joe got the win for his team by pinning Yuta. However, this is the part that is kind of having me, has my mind puzzled. Because after the match, despite the Ops winning and retaining, the Death Riders attacked the Ops with chairs after the match was over and left them down and out. And they wrapped a chair around Samoa Joe's head and they took out Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe ended up being stretchered out. And this is at the beginning of the show, by the way. Like, should the Ops have retained and they took Samoa Joe out after the match? I don't know. Like, I don't. Maybe the Death Riders should have maybe won just because of they were playing in that spot anyway after the match. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure what they're going to do about that, even though the Ops are still the Trios champions. Like, what the hell? Where does that leave Powerhouse Hobbs and Shibata at without Samoa Joe? Are they going to have to end up vacating the titles, or is Hook going to finally get involved and maybe take Samoa Joe's place? But that wouldn't make sense either, because back at Double or Nothing, Hook made his return and he was visibly upset at Samoa Joe and the Ops because Samoa Joe and Shibata replaced Hook with Powerhouse Hobbs when Hook had gotten injured or he was dealing with an illness at the time. So maybe the Death Riders should have fucking won. I don't know. So I guess we'll find out on Wednesday whatever they do regarding that. I don't know. Maybe Hook does come into the picture, but I don't know. So we have some notable moments. So we got a couple of notable moments. Okay. Oh yeah, Adam Cole. Let's talk about him. Yeah, Adam Cole. Okay, so there was supposed to be a TNT Championship match between Adam Cole and Kyle Fletcher one on one, but however, Adam Cole was forced to vacate the TNT Championship after some medical issues was reported. We don't know what those medical issues are, but I don't know. It sounded pretty fucking serious because Adam Cole would come out there and cut a promo, which, we will get into. So they decided to make a fatal four-way match for the vacant TNT Championship to crown a new champion. Next up, we have the men's Casino Gauntlet match. And, I mean, this match, it was fine. It was good. But out of all of the people that were in it, there was only one realistic winner, and he won that match, by the way. So like, okay, let's talk about it. So Mark Briscoe and MJF are the first two to come out there. So yeah, MJF and Mark Briscoe had one of the most personal feuds featured at All In. It escalated quite a bit this past week and became a bitter rivalry after MJF brought the late Jay Briscoe's name into it. So it was appropriate for them to start the gauntlet. Mark Briscoe enters number one, MJF enters number two. The newest member of the Hurt Syndicate took control early and celebrated a little prematurely. He disrespected Briscoe by pushing his crotch to his face, so the chicken popped up to his feet and started unloading on his opponent. So the chicken is referring to Mark Briscoe. Ricochet. Okay, so we get a third competitor in the match. Ricochet was the third man to enter the ring and teamed up with MJF to beat up Mark Briscoe. Then next, Bandino was the next to join the party at the number 4 spot, followed by his opponent from Super Card of Honor, Takeshita. Mystico came out after that and went right after his recent rival MJF. Mark and Mystico ended up getting MJF into arm bars on both arms, but Takeshita saved him to keep the match going as Josh Alexander joined the fray. And Anthony Bowens, Roderick Strong, Brody King, a returning Juice Robinson, Kota Ibushi, the Beast Mortos, and the final man to enter the match, Max Caster, rounded out the competitors. And all of them did not come out at the same time, by the way. That's just how they entered the match, like in that Pacific order. The match was fine and managed to address a handful of different feuds. They did a good job managing all of the moving parts, even with so many competitors in the ring. Everyone had some time to shine, but a few people definitely stood out more than the rest. MJF, Mark Briscoe, Ricochet, and Takeshita were the 4 who had the most moments. But in the end, MJF got the win and earned a future AEW World title shot at the time and place of his choosing. So Mark Briscoe, he had hit Roderick Strong with a finisher of, I think he calls the J Driller. He hit Roderick Strong with it, but MJF, being a sneaky little motherfucker that he is, he sneaks up behind Mark Briscoe, throws him out the ring, and pins Roderick Strong to win the men's Casino Gauntlet. Yeah, so we got some, let's see, what do we got? Bandino's one-armed press slams is always impressive. Takeshita had a fun moment with Bandino when he got to the ring. You could tell the crowd, yeah, because I noticed this, you could tell the crowd wanted to sing Mystico's theme, but a lot of them didn't know the Spanish lyrics, so, like, that was fuckery right there. Roddy had one of the best sequences when he got to the ring. The gates of agony and the Guns were involved, but not in an official capacity in the match. So that that's Austin and Colton Gunn had also made their return. And by the way, fucking Juice Robinson, he looks so fucking weird with the clean shave. Like, holy shit, when he came out there, like his music and stuff had hit, but when he actually came out there, I'm like, that ain't fucking Juice Robinson. But yeah, it was. It just I had never seen him with a clean shave before. He looks a lot better with the beard that he had. I don't know. In my opinion, the men's Casino Gauntlet match, in my opinion, wasn't as good as the women's Casino Gauntlet match. I enjoyed the women's Casino Gauntlet match a little bit more because the winner for the women's was a little bit more unpredictable. There was a couple that could have won it for the women. And by the way, I was wrong on my pick. I thought Chris Statlander or Megan Bain was going to win it, and neither one of them won it. But like, still, I still enjoyed it overall. I enjoyed both of them, but the women's I liked a little bit better. Okay, so let's see. The next match was the TNT Championship Fatal 4-Way match between Daniel Garcia, Dustin Rhodes, Kyle Fletcher, and Sammy Guevara to crown a new TNT champion. And for a disclaimer, I thought Kyle Fletcher was still going to win, and he should have won the TNT championship, but he didn't. We're going to get into it. Okay, so due to Cole's medical issues, his match with Kyle Fletcher turned into a Fatal 4-Way with Daniel Garcia, Dustin Rhodes, and Sammy Guevara for the vacant... Excuse me. Okay. So, yeah, so this turned into a Fatal 4-Way with Daniel Garcia, Dustin Rhodes, and Sammy Guevara for the vacant TNT championship. Cole came out with the belt and said he has some health issues that will keep him out of action for a while. Cole shed some tears and said he wasn't in the right headspace to talk about retirement, but he wanted to thank the best fans in the world. Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly came out and hugged Cole as the crowd chanted for him. This was an emotional moment to witness, and it was hard to get into the match after listening to him because like after hearing like, yo, I got some serious health issues going on. I might have to retire. And the fact that Adam Cole, he was balling up and he was like really upset that he didn't even get a chance to defend the TNT championship. I mean, I don't know. He didn't say anything about what it was, but it has to be serious enough to where they had to definitely change the match on the fly. And it's probably more than just something about with a knee or a shoulder. I don't know what it is. Nobody knows what it is. And I'm sure whenever Adam Cole is ready to share that information, he will. But, like, I was like, damn. This was, like, so unexpected going into the show. And it kind of made me, like, feel a little something inside for him. Oh, man, I don't know. Is this going to be the last time that Adam Cole ever wrestles again? I don't know. He said he didn't want to talk about retirement, but he said he's got some health issues going on. They must be pretty serious. Which that sucks to hear, but I don't know. So after all of that, so you have Garcia, Kyle Fletcher, Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara all come out there, but it was like, yeah, it was hard to get into the match, and it's just like, damn, you got the crowd that is quiet for the most part because the words of what Adam Cole was saying is just like it's lingering in the air as this match is happening. So it's like, damn, like. Like, was it the right... Nobody wasn't even thinking about the match, right? At first, because of all the sadness of potentially never seeing Adam Cole in the ring again. So yeah, Daniel Garcia comes out, and he shared a moment at the top of the ramp with Cole as he made his way to the ring. It was going to be hard for anyone to follow that speech from Cole, so there was some pressure on these four men to help get the crowd back into the right mindset. Thankfully, all four of these guys are great in different ways, and this was, despite the the sadness lingering in the air about Adam Cole, this was a really great match. I thought it was better than the men's Casino Gauntlet, but the ramifications of what Adam Cole was saying kind of makes it hard to believe that, but it was, once it got going, it was pretty good. So, okay, thankfully, all four of these guys are great in different ways. Rhodes is a skilled veteran, Guevara is a gifted high flyer, Garcia is a technical wizard, and Fletcher might be can't talk. Kyle Fletcher might be the most versatile talent in all of AEW. And in my opinion, Kyle Fletcher should have still won the match. But yeah, Dustin Rhodes ended up winning this match and becoming the new TNT champion, which we will talk about as to why I think they did that, you know. So the crowd was audibly quiet because they were still processing everything that Cole said, like I had mentioned. So the first several minutes of this match did not get the kind of reactions it would have in any other situation. These four men did a good job under the circumstances, but it would have been impossible for anyone to put the crowd in a good mood so soon. Rhodes ended up winning with a cradle to become the new TNT champion, and he cried as he celebrated, and the crowd gave him a nice reaction in Texas. Well, you gotta think about it. Why Dustin Rhodes won? It's because he's from Texas, and the pay-per-view was in Texas, and Dustin Rhodes has been with AEW, 5 years now? He was one of the first guys there when AEW started up, or it wasn't long after it started up. So Tony Khan, he saw this as an opportunity. Why don't I put Dustin Rhodes in this match and reward him with at least one more championship? Because Dustin Rhodes, I mean, he's getting up there in age. You got what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's going to have too terribly long of a TNT title reign, but I mean, it was a nice moment. The crowd did give him a real nice reaction to winning the title, so that was good. And you had Sammy Guevara, you had Devon Eriks coming out there celebrating with him. So that made the crowd, I think, feel a little bit better about what was going on with Adam Cole and stuff like that. So that was I liked it better than the men's Casino Gauntlet. Okay, damn, okay, let's not talk about Adam Cole, because it's kind of making me like, damn, it's starting to get to me a little bit thinking about it. Okay, anyway. Okay, so we got some notable moments. Cole is such a great spokesman for AEW. Yeah, he's pretty good on the mic for sure. If this is the end of his in-ring career, they should keep him around and find something for him to do, because he is a valuable asset in a lot of ways. Maybe he could be a commentator. I don't know. But hopefully he'll be alright, but I don't know. I mean, Guevara and Rhodes wrestled 3 times in less than 24 hours between Supercard of Honor and twice at All In. Like, holy shit. That's, like, impressive on its own, right? Garcia and Guevara had a fun moment early in the match with their respective dances. Garcia, Guevara, and Rhodes take turns kicking Fletcher, which was a fun moment. And then, I mean, all the baby faces team up on the heel. Okay, so we're going to get to now probably the second best match of the night. Before we ended up getting that main event, I would have said this would have been the best match coming up. It's the tag team match between the Young Bucks of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson versus Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. And the stipulations are, if the Young Bucks are to win, then that means Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay won't be able to get a AEW World Championship match for at least 1 year, either one of them. But if Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay were to win, the Young Bucks are no longer EVPs. That means they got no more power. Of course, I mean, off screen, because you got to think about it, the Young Bucks they really are the founding fathers of AEW. They are one of the first people to help even create AEW. So, even if they are to lose this tag team match, which I'm happy to report they they fucking do lose this tag team match. On screen, the Young Bucks don't have any power to make matches or nothing like that, but behind the scenes they still have power. But you know, on screen, Tony Khan will have all the power back to him. So Nicholas and Matthew Jackson's EVP titles were on the line when they took on Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland, who also put their ability to challenge for the world title for 1 year on the line as well. Both teams had special entrances that took up some time and gave the crowd a chance to reset. A lot of people got up after Cole's speech, but it seemed like everyone was back and ready for this match. You know why? Because the people in Texas, they knew these four were going to be able to deliver, and these four absolutely fucking delivered. Say whatever you want to say about the Young Bucks, about them being annoying, but motherfucker, when they want to put on a very good tag team match, they will do so. And they did not disappoint as far as the action in the ring. Absolutely. Okay, so the Bucks have a lot more experience as a team, so they were able to use that to their advantage and took control early. They sent Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay out of the ring to regroup more than once. Once Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland started working together because they were trying to work individually, but once they realized we gotta fucking work together but we can kiss. Whoa. They were beginning to realize if we don't work together, we can kiss a shot at the world title goodbye for a year if we don't get our shit together and work together. So, once they started working together, they were able to isolate Matt with some double team moves, but only for a short time. These are four world class performers, so it would have been difficult for them to have a bad match even on their worst day. They paced themselves well so they could slow down when they needed to, and it made the final couple of minutes that much more exciting when they started putting the pedal to the metal. Yeah, the match started off slow, but once they got into that second gear and third gear, the match fucking took off. It didn't let up at all. It was really good. Really good. So, other than the other than the, I don't even know where I got that. Anyway, other than the ref basically letting them ignore the rules at one point, this match had everything you could want from these four men. Will Ospreay at one point accidentally hit Swerve Strickland with the hidden blade, and it almost cost them the match, and they were able to rally and hit their finishers at the same time to get the win and remove the Bucks as EVPs of AEW. Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland beat the Young Bucks. Great fucking match. It was really good. It was really good. So let's see, what do we got here? Will Ospreay's Assassin's Creed entrance was awesome. Jojo Offerman singing Swerve Strickland to the ring was great too. I mean, it was fine. It was definitely I don't you know what? I don't know if I would say it was great, but that was weird. It was like the song she was singing, it was almost like sort of like a love ballad. I don't fucking know. I mean, it was different, but Will Ospreay definitely had the better of the entrances. So it is what it is. And the Bucks entrance was perfectly over the top and hilarious. It helped get the crowd back into the right frame of mind. The announcers said Swerve wasn't used to being in tag team scenarios, which I don't know why they said that, because before Swerve Strickland became a major star for AEW, Swerve Strickland was in a tag team with Keith Lee. So I don't know. I don't know if they were ordered to act like, oh, he used to never be in a tag team, because I don't know, maybe they don't like Keith Lee. I don't fucking know. But no, Swerve Strickland, before Adam Page made him a star, he was in a tag team with Keith Lee in AEW, by the way. So I don't know. That was a little bit of a fumble right there. So And also the way the Bucks hit the EVP trigger on Osprey after it looked like he might have countered was great. There was a lot of great shit in this match. Absolutely. Next up, we have the women's Casino Gauntlet match. Chris Statlander and Megan Bayne were the first two competitors to enter the women's Casino Gauntlet match, followed by Willow Nightingale was the third. She was the next to enter, and she went right after Chris Statlander when she got to the ring. Tay Mello was the fourth entrant, and Anna Jay accompanied her to the ring since she was not competing. Harley Cameron returned after she had gotten her nose broken by Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne, and damn, the mask that Harley Cameron was wearing, she was wearing like this pink mask around her face and nose, and she had painted it like a cat's nose with whiskers, and the outfit she was wearing, I was like, holy shit. I don't know, but damn, I was like, damn, did Harley Cameron just get fucking hotter? Like, holy shit, I was like, oh damn, I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling a little something when I saw that mask and the outfit, like, oh my god, I'm like, holy shit, what is this? Okay, so Harley Cameron showed up and shoved Penelope Ford because there was one point where Megan Bayne had picked up Ty Mello on her shoulders, and Penelope Ford was going to they were going to do a double team move on Ty Mello. That's when Harley Cameron had returned, and she shoved Penelope Ford off the top of the rope, which got a big pop from the crowd. So yeah, people like, they love Harley Cameron. I was about to say Harley Quinn, but this is not DC, so yeah, people love them some Harley Cameron, and I very much can't blame them. So Thekla, Julia Hart with Sky Blue by her side, Queen Anamana, Mina Shirakawa, Athena, Thunder Rosa, the debuting Shira. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Shira and the debuting Alex Windsor made up the rest of the field of competitors, and they didn't all come out at the same time. That's how they entered the match in order. So I thought maybe Chris Statlander was going to win the match. I thought Megan Bayne was potentially going to win it. Then I thought, okay, maybe they'll give it to Willow Nightingale because of Willow Nightingale's history with Mercedes Moné. Then I saw that Athena came out, and obviously Athena from she's from Texas, so Athena obviously got a huge crowd reaction. I'm like, yeah, Athena might be winning it after all. So, but I could have seen them went with Thunder Rosa because she got a pretty decent reaction as well. Much like the men's match, this bout gave each woman who entered the match a little time to stand out. It also addressed a few different storylines included a couple of surprises. This match had a lot of entertaining moments and showcased a number of deserving talents alongside the newcomers. Athena was able to pull off the win and earn a shot at the AEW Women's Championship while still holding the Ring of Honor Women's Championship, and she won this match by pinning Mina Shirakawa. And Mina Shirakawa, she was out there shaking her titties and her ass, which, I mean, nothing to complain about here on my end, but anyway, that's part of her gimmick. But anyway, so yeah, some notable moments. So yeah, Athena won the Casino Gauntlet, which honestly, that's why I like the women's Casino Gauntlet a little bit better, because there were a couple of entrants in this match that made me go, okay, this woman could win it. No, maybe she could win it. No, she could win it. Any of them could win it. So that's kind of why I like the women's match a little bit better, because it had more participants that had a legitimate shot at possibly winning. So it'll be interesting. So now MJF and Athena both have their respective Money in the Bank briefcases, but they're just contracts on clipboards. But it's the same idea. You got what I'm saying? So Penelope Ford was by Bane's side as usual. Nightingale's gear was great, which, yeah, Nightingale, her gear is always pretty good, and damn, Willow Nightingale, she's fine as hell. So that didn't hurt her gear. So hell yeah. Tay Mello, which Tay Mello is fine as hell. Sammy Guevara is a lucky motherfucker. so so Mello and Bane had a very awkward fall when Mello tried to counter a slam. Athena got one of the biggest pops, if not the biggest. It makes sense because she's from Texas. So having such a big area at ringside allowed for some fun multi-woman spots. Now we're going to get to the triple threat tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships between the champions, the Hurt Syndicate versus Jet Speed versus the Patriarchy. So, Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley put their AEW Tag Team Championships on the line against the teams of Nick Wayne and Christian and Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey. The champions took out all four men as soon as the match got started. They put their dominance on full display while MJF helped behind the ref's back whenever he could. This bout was chaotic and all over the place immediately, which made it fun without being hard to follow everything that was going on. And by the way, the Hurt Syndicate did retain. I was thinking the Patriarchy was going to retain. I mean, not retain, but rather, I was thinking the Patriarchy was going to win just because of that spot with the leg shots to Bobby Lashley on Wednesday, which that didn't even have any effect. So I should have just stuck with the Hurt Syndicate winning. Which, okay, so we'll talk about the Patriarchy after the end of the match. So, while both sets of challengers had some time in the driver's seat, the majority of this match had the Hurt Syndicate taking it to everyone. Lashley hit Christian with a huge spear to pick up the win and retain the tag titles for his team. So I was surprised that the Patriarchy actually ate the pinfall here. I thought Jet Speed was going to eat the pinfall for sure. But no, they went with the fucking Patriarchy to eat the pinfall. That was surprising. So, yeah, this match had some good stuff, but it felt a little unfocused at times. That being said, it was a dominant performance for the Hurt Syndicate, which, no surprise, they're fucking great. But, like, when are they going to lose the tag team titles? I don't know. I'm not sure. There's, like, really nobody that they could realistically lose to right now, so I don't know. They are great, but they've pretty much demolished everybody so far. I don't know. We'll see. Eventually they'll lose, but who to? Who fucking knows? Who knows? So, after the match, FTR came out there and had a face-off with the Patriarchy, but in a shocking betrayal, Nick Wayne turned on Christian and hit him with the kill switch because Christian Cage, he was about to leave and he was telling Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian, come on, it's not worth it, we'll just get out of here. But that's when Nick Wayne grabbed Christian Cage and hit him with a kill switch. So that's the end of the Patriarchy right there. So after Nick Wayne hit Christian Cage with the kill switch, he and Kip Sabian proceeded to beat him up while Mother Wayne laughed. FTR joined in, and Nick Wayne was about to do a concerto to Christian when you hear "You Think You Know Me?" Edge's theme song. So yeah, Edge, Adam Copeland has returned. And that crowd pop was insane, absolutely. So yeah, Adam Copeland's music hit, and he came out with his spiked 2x4. And after the pyrotechnics and all that stuff going off, and the smoke and all that, Adam Copeland came out there. He took out Sabian and Nick Wayne on his way to the ring before hitting. Okay, so Adam Copeland took out both Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne on his way to the ring before hitting both members of FTR with a spear. He put his weapon down and helped Christian Cage to his feet, and Edge grabbed the microphone and told him to go. He didn't go tell him to go fuck himself, which I think a lot of people thought he might have said, but no. He picked up the microphone and said to Christian Cage, you need to go find yourself. Then he dropped the microphone down and left. So that was that. So it's good. It's good to see that Edge is back on AEW television. So we are going to definitely be getting that Edge and Christian Cage reunion. I can't fucking wait for that. I thought it would have already happened by now, but you know what? It's great that we're getting it now. Fucking awesome. I can't fucking wait. That's going to be a good moment that those two are going to eventually team up. It's going to take Christian Cage a little bit to like come to terms that he's going to have to team up with Edge, but oh yeah, he will. Now that his quote unquote son turned on him, he's going to have no choice but to team up with Edge. And that's exactly what's going to happen, and that's going to be a great fucking moment. Can't wait for it. So yeah, so we got the Hurt Syndicate retaining, we got the Patriarchy breaking up, and we got the return of Edge, which is great. So FTR and Stokely halfway came to watch the match. That's right, they actually came out during the match. I remembered that wrong. They came out during the match to watch the match from ringside, and they were ribbing. That's right, they went to commentary because they were ribbing Tony Schiavone on commentary a bit. The Hurt Syndicate had a live performance for their entrance, and the Wayne's World on the apron looked good. That's right, because when the Patriarchy came out there, that's right, that's what that was for. So next up, we have Timeless Tony Storm defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Mercedes Moné. The Women's World Championship was up for grabs when Moné challenged Storm as she hoped to add a seventh belt to her fucking belt collection. This was billed as the first match of the triple main event by Justin Roberts. There was a lot of pressure on Timeless Tony Storm and the CEO. They were the only two women's champions in AEW right now fighting over the top prize. So expectations were high, which I thought this match really delivered. It was a really good fucking match. It was better than I thought it was going to be. The crowd chanted for both women as they locked up and made a clean break. They weren't in a rush to pick up the pace, so they spent some time posturing and playing to the crowd during the first few minutes. While they may seem like very different people, Moné and Storm have a lot more in common than it first appears. They are both colorful characters who rely on their charisma, but they are also both versatile performers capable of working a variety of styles. Neither competitor felt like they had a clear advantage in any way, which helped make the outcome a little less predictable than most of their matches against other opponents. Either could have won, and I mean, I don't think either could have won. No, fuck that. There was only one winner, the right outcome. Tony Storm wins or everybody fucking riots. Like, people, no, there was some cheers for Mercedes Moné, but no, like if, by the way, Tony Storm was the first one to beat fucking Mercedes Moné. If Mercedes Moné would have won, we could have seen people throwing cups in the ring. Like, I'm like, no, maybe not that bad, but people would be bitching, including myself included. But I don't have to bitch, so that's great. I love being wrong. So, okay, on any other show, this might have been the match of the night, but the bar was set very high at All In. They put on a solid performance, but they left room for improvement. Both women came close to winning on multiple occasions, but Storm prevailed to retain her title. And not only did she retain her title, she handed Mercedes Moné her first loss in AEW, bro. Like, it's about fucking time. Congratulations, Tony Storm. Fuck yes. Let's fucking go. That, up to this point, this was the best surprise of the night. Like, because I'm like, yeah, great. Mercedes Moné, that apple cart isn't going to get upset. I have no fucking doubt she was going to win. But they get to the end of the match where Mercedes Moné is on the top rope and Tony Storm meets her, and Tony Storm grabs her head and kisses her on the lips, and then she grabs and Tony Storm, after Tony Storm kisses Mercedes Moné, she grabs Mercedes Moné and hits the Storm Zero on her and pins her. 1, 2, 3. Ding ding ding, that's it. Ding dong, the witch is no longer undefeated. Fucking great. Fucking great. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. So, let's talk about the entrances. So, when Mercedes Moné came out there, Mercedes Moné had some cheerleaders perform while she was driven onto the stage in a classic car. It was a really nice car. And by the way, the attire that Mercedes Moné was wearing to the ring, she had this very long dress, and there were some names on the dress, and oh man, the privileged bitch, you know the names on there? The names on the dress were the names of the people that she's beaten in AEW. Like, what the fuck? So that makes her loss even more sweeter. Like, yes, absolutely. And then it was time for timeless Tony Storm's entrance. Tony Storm narrated her own pre-entrance video. She came out with a cane before dropping it and taking off her jacket. Storm has built up the ability to control the crowd like a puppeteer. It's impressive. After the match, Mercedes was being checked on by the ringside doctor. So yeah, maybe when when Tony Storm hit the Zero Storm on her, that kind of made it looked like she hit her head a little bit. So yeah, that's probably what that was about. I mean, hopefully Mercedes is, nothing serious is going on with that. But it's great that Tony Storm retained and handed Mercedes her first loss. Fuck yes. Next up, we have Kenny Omega, the international champion, facing the continental champion Okada for the AEW Unified Championship. It was winner takes all in Texas when Omega and Okada fought to combine the Continental and International Championships into a new unified championship. The rivalry between these two has become legendary stuff at this point. Most of their time together was in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but this bout had bigger stakes than any of their previous encounters. Omega's entrance included several singers with hooded robes on the stage. Ibushi and Callis were both at ringside. There was a big fight feel to this match, especially during the official introductions. And this match, okay, let me say this about this match. This match was pretty good. I would say, this is definitely one of the 4 best matches of the night. Although I wouldn't say this is better than the main event, the tag team match with Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay, and the Young Bucks, or even timeless Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné. I think those other 3 matches were better than this match, but again, this was one of the 4 better matches on the card. So I'm going to say that right now. So, yeah. So next, we have the Rainmaker was the first one to take control, but he didn't have it for long. They went back and forth. Kenny Omega and Okada went back and forth a few times before Okada blocked a moonsault with his knees to begin an onslaught of offense focused on Omega's midsection. Out of every match on the card, this one had the highest expectations. It did have the highest expectations. Their previous bouts were all considered classics, so fans were expecting similar results on Saturday. As it looked like Omega was going to win with the one-winged angel, Callis yanked the referee out of the ring. Don Callis yanked the referee out of the ring and stomped the hell out of him to stop the count. Which I thought that was kind of funny because Don Callis pulled the referee out, but he kept stomping on him. He stomped the shit out of him. Don Callis stomped the crap out of the referee, and I'm like, damn, okay, are you trying to get Okada disqualified? but it didn't happen. The referee was down after that, and so after the original referee was stomped out by Don Callis, Aubrey Edwards took his place so the match could continue. Yeah, honestly, this match did not have the same level of mayhem as some of their previous fights, but it was still a really good match. It really was. And the Rainmaker Okada secured the win and became the unified champion thanks to his signature clothesline on Omega. Okay, you know what? I picked Kenny Omega to win, but now thinking about it and sitting on it, I think AEW made the right call to go with Okada only because of Kenny Omega's health issues with what was that shit called he had last year, and he had to get 2 feet of his intestines taken out. Fuck, I know there's a name for it. It starts with a D. Damn it, I can't think of the name of it, but anyway, that's why I'm thinking maybe they were hesitant to have Kenny Omega win because of that. So I think Okada winning was probably the right decision. And again, I'm not mad at it. I said this match could go 50-50 either way. So, and it did go either way. It could have went, I thought it was going to go with Omega, but it went Okada's way, and I'm not mad at it. Both of them were really good in the ring. For me, it didn't disappoint because you got to remember those earlier bouts were like 7 and 8 years ago. So both of them are a little bit older at this point. So for what they were able to do, I thought it was still a really good match. But yeah, people might have been disappointed because of the high expectations of it all that stuff. So yeah, I liked it. So yeah, the video package for this match was well made. After what felt like forever, Okada finally got some new gear for this match, and Jim Ross made his return. Jim Ross joined commentary for this match, and he was a little emotional at the reception he received for his first time back after his recent battle with cancer. So, well, fucking great to see JR back. He battled cancer. He kicked cancer's ass. Fuck yeah, let's go. Fuck cancer. Absolutely. It was great to see JR, and it was great to hear him on commentary once again. Absolutely. Whenever somebody, it doesn't matter who it is, whenever anybody can beat cancer, that's a fucking awesome story to hear. It's an inspiring story. It absolutely is. So yes. Absolutely. That was great. So now what I'm sure most of you are probably here for. We're finally going to get to the main event, the Texas Death Match for the AEW World Championship between Jon Moxley defending against Hangman Adam Page. So, yes, here we go. The final contestant of the night was the final contest of the night was the Texas Death Match for the AEW World Championship between Moxley and Adam Page. Mina Shafira was at ringside for support as the bitter rival started the match by trading punches, and Hangman had Mox down in a corner and stomped a mud hole in him as the crowd went wild. And anybody want to take a guess how long it took before we got to see Jon Moxley bleed? Well, if anybody said under 3 minutes, then ding, 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 you got it right, because Jon Moxley brought a fucking fork into the ring that you eat with, and Adam Page also brought a fork with him, so they were fighting with forks like it was one of those cooking shows on the Cooking Network channel. Great. So, Page drew first blood by repeatedly stabbing Jon Moxley in the forehead with a fork. It was a brutal scene because you could see the wound opening up as it happened. There was no hiding it. It's not like they showed some hits and then Mox had time to use a blade. it was the fork doing all the damage because he had got Adam Page was on his back and he was just Adam Page was going to fucking town with that fork on his forehead. Like, oh my god, like holy shit, that was just the start of it. That was to get the bleeding started early. So yeah, this match lived up to its name. Oh fucking yeah, yeah. The match lived up to its name and then some. We saw them use everything you could think of to hurt each other, including broken glass and the previously mentioned fork, because Adam Page ended up getting busted open with a fork as well by Jon Moxley. So they busted each other with fucking forks. So that was great. So yeah, Mina Shafira had a bucket of fucking glass. She gave it to Jon Moxley and he was pouring it all over the ring and he was dragging Jon Moxley was dragging Adam Page across the fucking glass in the ring at one point in the match. So, as expected, the rest of the Death Riders showed up to give Moxley an unfair advantage, but that didn't stop Hangman from fighting back. They told a great story using as much violence as possible. It won't be everybody's cup of tea, but it's going to be a match people talk about for some time. Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. So Will Ospreay was the first man to come out there and help Adam Page because weeks leading into the match, Will Ospreay told Adam Page, "Hey, if you need my help, you got me. I got your back no matter fucking what, man." And Will Ospreay was the first man to come out there and help to try to give Page some assistance, but he ended up being taken out in similar fashion as Samoa Joe, where they wrapped the chair around his head and stomped the chair on his head, and Will Ospreay was also stretchered out, and that was the end of Will Ospreay for the night. But also, during a little bit into the match, Darby Allin appeared on one of the big screens underneath the ring and gave Jon Moxley a warning telling, and by the way, not Jon Moxley, but Darby Allin is still on during this video, which was recorded ahead of time. Darby Allin was on climbing Mount Everest and told Jon Moxley, telling him, I'm going to take everything away from you. And then the video ended. So next thing you know, someone wearing a blue mask slid into the ring doing the yes movements, and it was Daniel Bryanson. Daniel fucking Bryanson showed up to assist Adam Page to get a little bit of retribution, because before that, the Death Riders were going to grab a fucking plastic bag and they were going to wrap it around Adam Page's head before Darby Allin's video stopped them. And then Daniel Bryanson came out with a blue mask and did the yes, chants with his arms, great shit. Great shit. Absolutely, that was some great shit, for sure. So Bryan Danielson showed up in a mask and took out Yuta with a knee. He got rid of Gabe Kidd and Claudio too. Then, shortly after, Darby Allin descended from the ceiling on a rope and had a face-off with Jon Moxley. Page used the opportunity to hit a pair of buckshot lariats followed by a deadeye through a table at ringside. Moxley recovered and hit a stomp on a Pyrogrim shift. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but anyway, Moxley recovered and hit a stomp, and he hit a move that, because before that they brought in a bed of fucking nails in the ring, and that's when Jon Moxley hit a stomp, and then he hit another move onto a bed of nails, and then that's when Adam Page landed on the bed of fucking nails. Like, holy shit, what the fuck? This match was definitely really violent, and it brings me back to those older days of WWE when they used to be pretty violent. So that's part of why I love AEW. So So Mina Shafira, after that, she was going to the ringside area to grab something like a chair or something. I don't know what she was going to grab. Next thing you know, Mina Shafir was fucking handcuffed to the timekeeper's table. And none other than Prince Nana handcuffed Mina Shafir to the timekeeper's table. That was fucking great. Now Mina Shafira can't get fucking involved. She's got to sit there and watch whatever happens next. That was fucking slick by Prince Nana to come out there and hide under the table to handcuff her ass to that table because she grabbed something and then she was trying to leave and she was looking like, what the fuck? Why am I handcuffed to the table? And then it was revealed, yeah, Prince Nana did that, right? So that was really great. That was good. So after Shafir was handcuffed, then that's when Swerve Strickland showed up. Okay, so yeah, so all right, so let me see. Yeah, I missed something here because no, actually the Young Bucks actually showed up sometime after that to hit double super kicks on Adam Page, and then shortly afterward Swerve Strickland showed up with a chain to take out the Young Bucks, and oh, that was satisfying to see. Then Swerve Strickland was thinking about it because this was toward the end of the match. Swerve Strickland was looking at Adam Page, and Adam Page was looking back at Swerve Strickland, and he had the chain in his hand thinking about what should I do. And when Swerve Strickland passed, when he slid the chain to Adam Page, that got a huge fucking pop from the crowd. I think it's safe to say that it seems like Adam Page and Swerve Strickland have officially put their history behind them, because the fact that he could have said, you know what, I'm going to fuck up Adam Page, but he didn't do that. He slid the chain to Adam Page even though he said, I don't want to help him. And he ended up giving him a little bit of help. He took out the Young Bucks and slid the chain to Adam Page, and that got the biggest pop. That got one of the biggest pops of the match so far. So after that, Swerve Strickland was looking, he was standing there where after Swerve Strickland gave Adam Page the chain, then Adam Page used that chain to, he used that chain, he put it around Jon Moxley's neck. He threw Jon Moxley over the rope. I love the symbolism of the final moments of this match. So, you got all the Death Riders are run out of there. Bryan Danielson is out of there. Darby Allin, all of them are out of there. Mina Shafira is handcuffed. The Young Bucks are knocked the fuck out. Swerve Strickland is standing there watching all of this play out. And Jon Moxley has the chain wrapped around his neck, and Adam Page throws him over the rope. And you gotta think about it. Hangman Adam Page. So Adam Page is hanging Jon Moxley, not literally, but Adam Page, he knows what the fuck he's doing, and then Jon Moxley, he's like moving around, making it look worse than it actually is. And then as he's hanging Jon Moxley taps the fuck out. The crowd goes fucking wild. We have a new AEW World Champion. Hell fucking yes. Oh my goodness. When that fucking moment happened, I fucking was jumping up and down and screaming because I couldn't fucking believe it. Adam Page, fuck yes. Oh my god. Jon Moxley tapped out like a little bitch, and that's the end of the terror of his title reign. And Adam Page, he got his redemption, well fucking deserved by Adam Page. And he finally got a hold of that briefcase, and he opened that briefcase. He took that AEW World Championship out of the briefcase, and the crowd popped for that. And you could see Adam Page begin crying as he removed the title from the briefcase and displayed it to the crowd for the first time since Jon Moxley won it at Wrestle Dream last year. And there you go. This was literally the only way that the pay-per-view could end to send the crowd home happy, and it absolutely fucking did. It was it was great. The match was violent. It was brutal. It had interferences out of the ass, but you're going to make it a Texas death match. You're going to make it a Texas death match. Of course, it had to have interferences. We had Bryan Danielson come back. We had the return of Darby Allin. We had Mina Shafira get handcuffed. Swerve Strickland got to knock the fuck out of both the Young Bucks. And then that moment when Swerve Strickland hands or slides the chain to Adam Page, that got a loud fucking pop as well. Oh man, this match had a little bit of everything. Had some good fucking storytelling. Oh my goodness. Great fucking story. Great fucking match. Best pay-per-view of the year, without a fucking doubt. I don't know if anything is going to be able to top it, in my honest opinion. I don't know. So we're going to get to the notable moments. Hangman's entrance included his old theme song and a couple of musicians playing on the stage. And they had a professional whistler out there, that was fucking great, because that has got to, the way that woman was whistling, that is a fucking talent. So great job to whoever that was. Fantastic job. It was surprising neither man tried to bring a weapon into the ring at first, but they eventually did. Mox bled first, but I mean, that wasn't really a surprise. Page may have bled more after his head was busted open. There was an awkward moment when Mox and Shafir tried to set up a table, right, because one was trying to set it one way and the other was trying to set it another way. And then, as I mentioned before, the pop for Swerve was one of the loudest pops of the night, and Adam Page ends the night. We actually get the World Championship on TV once again. Fuck yeah, let's go. It was a great fucking match. It was a great show. Those 4 matches alone make it the best pay-per-view. Those 4 matches being the Texas Death Match, the tag team match with Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay, and the Young Bucks, Timeless Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné, and then Okada and Kenny Omega in that Pacific order. Tony Khan, he fucking listened for once and he performed a great fucking pay-per-view. Only if he would listen to the fans a little bit fucking more, people wouldn't be complaining about AEW. I'm not one of those people. I love fucking AEW, but I'm just saying there are others out there that just shit on AEW all the time. Some people's minds can be changed. Others will never be changed. They will suck off WWE until they die. That's just how it's going to be. But yeah, by the way, not John Moxley, but Adam Page, he decided to wear white for the match, which I thought that was an odd choice because both of them ended up bleeding. So the fact that not John Moxley, but the fact that Adam Page decided to wear white as a part of his wrestling attire, that was an odd choice because he ended up getting a little bit of blood on that white, by the way. So great fucking match. I couldn't have been fucking happier to see this match. It was great. Honestly, I don't think I have more to say. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here as I'm starting to get a little tired, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. And the show was fun. It was great. It was fantastic. It was the best pay-per-view without a doubt. I doubt All In will be topped this year, but we'll see. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. And if you're new, welcome on in for the very first time. I'm glad to have your support, and thank you for stopping by. And I am Buck Beak, and I'm going to go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.